My name is Renee Blundon. I think of myself as an artist of experience. My passion is creating transformational freediving experiences for myself and others as a way to explore what it means to truly live. For me, the central exploration is what I call the dive of your life. To live courageously, to follow the calling and step into what life is asking of you. So much of how I live has been informed by my passion as a freediver. I'm following the journey of my own dives and reporting back. This show is a regular broadcast from wherever I'm stationed. Right now, that's Las Vegas, Nevada. I am your host, Renee Blundon. My goal is to train, compete, and teach freediving whenever possible while serving in the U.S. Air Force. I aim to explore the archetype of the mystic in the water, to hone my skills as a freediver, and to cultivate a community of fellow freediving enthusiasts wherever I journey. These are my stories and reflections. August 21st, 2025. The first step, journal entry. I'll tell you what, nothing hits harder than unwrapping a chocolate sea salt RX bar after pool training. You've just come out of the water, eyes red and burning from the chlorine, head still spacey from those long breath holds, legs heavy like concrete from all the finning. Then you rip open that wrapper. 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 5 cashews, 2 dates, right there on the front, like some ancient warrior recipe carved in stone. You take a bite, and it's dense, chewy, salty, sweet, the chocolate sticking to your teeth, the dates gluing everything together. You swear you can taste every individual ingredient like it was forged for this exact moment. After grinding out lap after lap underwater, staring at that black line on the bottom of the pool until your brain dissolved into silence, this bar becomes holy communion. This is fuel. This is life. There's a Chinese saying that the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time is now. And I love this idea. I definitely feel it now as time warps. It's almost September, but it feels like yesterday was January. I really don't know where the last 8 or 9 months went. At times, it's felt very long, with days dragging on forever, and at others, like the blink of an eye. I think our relationship with time shapes our relationship with life and with ourselves. In a society where time is money, rest becomes kind of outlawed, and everything bends towards pressure, optimization, and stress. But slip under the water and something shifts. Immersed in that natural element, you fall into a natural rhythm. Consciousness changes as your notion of time changes. Holding your breath, time seems to sustain life, not count it down. Maybe it's the presence in time that expands it. Now that the World Championships are over, and I finally have space to process the past 9 months of intensive freediving training and competitions, and now that I'm beginning, I'd say, a new chapter, I keep circling back to this, the power of starting. One thing that I'm struck by in the quote, "When is the best time to plant a tree, 10 years ago or now?" is how, even with making this podcast episode, there is still something incredibly powerful about just starting now, or, restarting now, for my sake. It will be the value of starting 10 years ago in the blink of an eye. So if you didn't start 10 years ago, you can just start now, whether it's the business, learning an instrument, a foreign language, just start. I was planning and scheduling and rescheduling this podcast for years. Heck, if COVID gave me one thing, it was to cut the crap and start. In the freediving world, I've taught and coached many people who've said something along the lines of, once I've figured this out or that, or when work calms down, etc., then I'll start training seriously. When in fact, what we find is that people who create the most transformation in their lives are the people who consistently make small changes every day, and sometimes without knowing their grand plans. How do I make freediving feel a little better every day? This starts to create changes just over time. In a huge world of opportunities, you could spend your time doing anything, going anywhere. You have no idea where the next 1 to 2 hours might take you. You have no idea how the path of freediving, or the path of anything really, will play out, and you don't need to. All you need is that first freediving session to start training, and then the next first session, and then the next first session, the willingness to start and just letting go of where it's going. Carl Jung had an idea that he referred to as circumambulation. And the idea is that you exist in your full future potential as a future self. And basically, your life is to try and realize that future self's potential. And the way to do that is to really pay attention to what brings you to life in this very moment. You make the future self by paying attention to what truly grabs you with the feeling of aliveness right now. He also said that as you circumambulate, you move around your future self, and as you do that, you will see patterns and themes. And those themes should show you something about what's very core and essential to you. For me, the themes are obvious: art, nature, and water. As a kid, I was obsessed with drawing, and then early adulthood, I designed interiors, furniture, and multimedia. And then I began swimming, snorkeling, and freediving, and later helping others to experience the underwater world. So when I look back over my life, I see that there are themes that continuously emerge, and themes that are unique to my own Venn diagram. And looking back, I also see things that I took up continuously, as well as some things that I ignored. I see all of this as I kind of spiral through time towards my future potential. Freedivers understand this need to start and show up. I'd say that as much as 70% of being a successful freediver is just showing up. Dive after dive, each dive a first step. I remember I was 28 years old when I first started freediving, and I was so stuck on trying to equalize head down at 8 meters deep, and no idea how Frenzel equalization worked or if it would ever work. A friend kept telling me, just keep diving, just keep trying. I think he knew the way of starting, because oftentimes, you don't need to know where it's going or the how and the why. You just need to dive. I once spent 3 weeks swimming and snorkeling in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Dar es Salaam. 6 hours a day, every day, swimming out to the boats and freediving down the mooring lines in murky green water. People thought I was crazy, but to me, it was motivating and it made me happy. Doing it was a step and a start to my freediving journey. Was it taking me anywhere in particular at the time? No. Was there a tangible reason for it? No. The best starts are often going nowhere, but energy was moving toward my future as I felt more myself every day. And now I'll tell you that anytime I'm in the water, I feel that giant white nomad jellyfish there pulsating beside me. I'll tell you something, back in those years when the seeds of transformation through freediving first took root, I started down a path. And I dove whenever I could with spearfishermen, swimmers, scuba divers, surfers, you name it. I eventually became an instructor and worked on liveaboards and taught freediving in like 4 different countries. And my students came from every walk of life, engineers, artists, soldiers, athletes, seekers. And in all those faces, I saw the human experience. In freediving, you take a single breath and then you summon every ounce of courage to dive down, leaving thoughts, feelings, and the past all on the surface. I saw people carrying loss, pain, fear, suffering, relief, abuse, reconciliation, faith, blame, grief, and also regret. Because we all carry a little regret about something. But here's the truth. When you look at death, it teaches you to live. And when you stare deeply into the eyes of regret, you learn the most important lesson of all. Start. Start today. Start now. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Freediving Podcast with Renee Blundon. Follow me on Instagram at Renee Blundon, Twitter at Renee L. Blundon. Visit my website at reneeblundon.com or subscribe to this podcast in your favorite podcast player. Please rate and review this podcast so that more people can find and enjoy it.